Yo, yo, yo. Welcome y'all back out to the channel, man. It's the boy Chaos. Right back at you. I want to come to y'all, give y'all some information today about something that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Something that's just been a real key in my personal transformation, and that's crystals. I just want to come in and talk to y'all about the power of crystals and give y'all some techniques that I've done personally to help myself that pretty much I've never heard anywhere else, or just certain things that I've been told in my meditations that I think could be, beneficial to anybody else that's out there that's dealing with crystals or they're interested in crystals. Really, just my personal story with it. I started getting into them, man, just real early in my consciousness, really around like 2012, really. 2012 when I really start just started paying them more attention, and I started I remember the first time I went and I bought my first set, my first 4 crystals I bought. It's a real just a defining time, not in my life, but just in my magical work, in my consciousness, because, man, working with these crystals, they've changed me so much, man. And I know a lot of people work with crystals, but they might not really, get the deeper meaning. So because it's definitely levels. Anytime you're dealing with consciousness and you're dealing with magic, you have to know that there's always multiple levels to one thing. So crystals definitely are multi-level entities, and they have a lot of knowledge, and there's different ways that you can come and you can access the knowledge, and there's different ways you can use those things to benefit yourself. Let's grab my notes. Well, one of the most popular crystals, of course, is quartz. Quartz crystal, most of the time when you say crystal to somebody that don't know anything about crystals, they automatically think that you're talking about quartz crystals, because quartz crystals are just pretty much everywhere. They're so abundant, but they're abundant for a reason. And the reason they're so abundant is because of its chemical makeup. Now, quartz is a combination of silicon dioxide. And what silicon dioxide is pretty much silicon and dioxide is 2 different elements that come together and they combine and they form this mineral. So silicon is an element and dioxide is oxygen. And what's so important about crystals and just knowing the chemical makeup on them is because you can really see on a molecular level how they interact with you and how you can benefit from them and how you can use these crystals or minerals or elements to boost your own aura and your own mind and your own wisdom and your own just access to information. So just knowing that quartz is a combination of silicon and dioxide. Silicon is the second most abundant element on the earth. The second most abundant element on the earth. Second to only dioxide, which is oxygen. So you have the number 1 element on earth combined with the number 2 element on earth. Take those things, you combine them together, and you get quartz. This is why quartz is so abundant. Now, why it's also important is because you have these things inside of you. You have silicon inside of your body. Every single person has silicon inside of their body. And you obviously have oxygen inside of your body. So you have the elements that make up quartz inside of you. So when you're working with a quartz crystal, you're working with silicon and you're working with oxygen that's inside of you. So there's a frequency that's being emitted from the crystals that resonate with the elements that's inside of you. It's really important that you understand that just because you can't see something happening, that don't mean it's not happening. This is on a very, very, very small microscopic level. But these quartz crystals, they have a natural frequency that they emit. Everything has a bioelectric field. Everything has a field around it. Every animate object has a field around it. It emits bioelectricity. So the bioelectricity that the quartz emits, it emits from the elements that it's made of. So it's vibrating the silicon and it's vibrating the oxygen. So these, when it vibrates and you have the quartz in your aura, you bring it in your aura, you start working with it, you start meditating with it, it's gonna vibrate with the silicon that's inside of you. It's gonna vibrate with the oxygen that's inside of you. The frequency that it's emitting is gonna attune your aura to that frequency. Naturally, just by having it around you. That's what it is. It's the element. So just looking at it on a microscopic level, you got to understand that every single crystal is made up of different things, different elements. It's just different combinations, and all of these combinations are found inside of you. So if you want to know how to build yourself or stimulate yourself from something from the outside world, there's nothing really better than crystals, because they're the hardened elements. You know what I mean? Different colors, different sizes, different shapes. You know what I mean? You get another one of my favorite crystals is moonstone. So you look at moonstone, right? So moonstone is like the number one crystal that you want to use when you're dealing with emotional frequencies, because of its natural attunement, because the frequency that it attunes. But when you look at the chemical composition of moonstone, it's sodium, potassium, aluminum, silicate. So the combination of sodium, potassium, aluminum, and silicate, that energy that each one of those elements have, each one has its own element, they come together and they combine the energies. And so this one thing, this entity, this unit that it makes, it's the perfect thing that will combine the energies of you on your inner side, on your auric level, to attune all of your emotional frequencies. So it's science. So let's say every single thing has something that it will resonate with. So you already know. So it says it has potassium in it. So you already know that you have potassium inside of your body. So moonstone has potassium in it. So that potassium, the outside potassium, is attuning the potassium that's inside of you. Which also why it's important for you to have potassium inside of you, for you to have the necessary nutrients inside of your body, so you can vibrate right, so you can vibrate at your highest level possible. And this is how the crystals, they come and they interact with you. So I just want to touch on some of the techniques that I do, just using the crystals. One of the number one techniques that I use that's real beneficial to me is what I call crystal breathing. So what I do is, I do it a couple of different ways, but the main way I do it is I'll just take one crystal. Let's say I have a quartz, right? I got my quartz with me. It's my quartz. Weird enough, somehow, I actually have over 100 crystals. I have a lot of crystals. But but I've been collecting them for like I said, for like since 2012. And I always have them around. Like just in my room when I sleep, I have at least 20 different crystals just around. Different ones, you know what I mean? I create different grids, I create different matrices, you know what I mean? Because it's all elements, you know what I mean? Like I just said, breaking down, you know, quartz, knowing that quartz is silicon and is dioxides. Okay, so I'm looking at these elements. What does this crystal have? So, you know, you start, you know what I mean? That's real magic. So when you start doing that, you start seeing how certain energies combine with certain other energies. One of the best ways to do that is elixirs. And I actually have a couple of elixirs that I'm gonna come and I'm give probably at the end of the video that I've used before that really didn't help me. But getting back to the crystal breathing, so what I do is I'll take a crystal, let's just say I got a quartz, I go in my meditation, whether I'm laying down or I'm sitting up, I'll take it and I'll put it somewhere on my body where I can feel it. Mostly I try to do it on my abdomen, especially if I'm laying down, because I can feel the crystal going up and down when I breathe. So when I breathe, I'm breathing in, you know, 5-6 breaths, and I'm holding it 3 breaths, and then exhaling. So I can feel the crystal on my abdomen when I'm meditating. So I'm going to meditating, and I'm using my imagination with my eyes closed to imagine myself breathing through the crystal. This is what you want to do. So with your imagination, you're going to feel it on your skin, but with your imagination, you're going to want to feel like your breath. When you're exhaling, feel like you're pushing it through the crystal, like the air is going through it. So you're breathing through it. When you breathe in, hold, and you want to breathe out. But wherever you have the crystal on your body, you want to push through it. So that's what I call crystal breathing. And the more you can do that, so also most crystals you want to put them on the chakra that it resonates with, obviously. So if you got, you know, a crown chakra, you got an amethyst, put it on your crown. So that's pretty much, it's nothing complicated, but the power is the seriousness in which you take it. Like I said, every single thing dealing with magic has different levels. And what determines what level or access you have access to is your sincerity and how serious you take it. The more serious you take it, the more you believe, the more you imagine, the more you envision, the more respect that you have for these crystals, the more information you're allowed to have. So just knowing that, definitely, like I said, try it out. Definitely worked for me. If it don't work for you, you know what I mean, you're not losing anything, but my guess is you're gonna have some kind of reaction. Another technique that I do with crystals is I like to hum with them. So, you know, a lot of people, if you know the Buddhists, they always do the but they actually have a lot of different chants that they do, but most people just know the But the Om is also very powerful. But another thing, it's not just, you can hum any song. Any song that you know or that you know a chorus to, you can just hum it. Because what it is, when you hum, you're automatically putting yourself in a high vibration. Humming is automatically putting yourself, it's like when you dance or when you feeling good or when you partying, you humming, you know what I mean? You can't be in a bad mood when you hum. You know what I mean? It's a natural state of of kind of like peace or serenity or happiness when you hum. So it doesn't really matter what you hum. Man, one time, one of the most powerful things I did, I remember a couple years ago, Kanye's Flashing Lights is like one of my favorite songs. And I did a meditation, and I remember I heard the song earlier during the day, and then when I was just meditating, and I had the crystal, so I'm humming the song in my head. That, man, one of the most powerful meditations I ever had. Just doing that. So try that. Just hum, same thing. Also, when you're trying to read the energy of a crystal, also this is something that, believe it or not, a tree told me when you're trying to read the bioelectric field of something. So, like, this is a crystal, right? So, when you trying to interact with the field itself, see, the hardened state is not the energy. The energy is around it. You know what I mean? The field is around it. The energetic field is around it. So you don't focus so much on the solid object. You want to focus on the field around it. So when you holding a crystal, or when you trying to really interact anything, when you're trying to just exchange information, when you're dealing with trees or plants or anything, when you're trying to interact with its you're trying to interact with its field. So when you're trying to interact with its field, you want to hold it and you want to pull away as much as you can touch it, but with your force in your hand, you want to pull away. It's not really something I can show you on camera. It's like you want to hold it, but more so try to interact with the field around it with your imagination. Touch it as much as you can, but with your force, you want to pull. You know what I mean? It's not like you want to pull directly away from it. So let's say if I'm touching a tree, I'll put my hand to the tree, but I want to pull away. So I'm holding the tree, but I'm interacting with the field around it, not the tree itself. You know what I mean? Just knowing that's a trick, and that's something that I've been told, and that's something that when I start doing, you know what I mean, next level, you know what I mean? So try it out, see if it works for you. But definitely something that really works for me when I'm dealing with crystals. You don't want to hold it too tight. You want to smash your hand all around it. You want to press against it. You want to, with your imagination, interact with the field. You are a field. It is a field. It's energy exchanging energy. You know what I mean? So don't focus so much on the solid object. Focus more on the field around it. You know what I mean? Another thing that I do, well, kind of mentioned with the crystal matrices, that's something else that I'm gonna come do and give different matrices and different circles. You know what I mean? That I put myself in. But that's definitely big. If you get combining different elements and putting them in the magical circle and sitting in the circle and envision, you know what I mean, yourself pulling the energies towards yourself. You know what I mean? That's another real good meditation that I've been doing and really been getting the powerful results from. There's a lot of different ways to communicate with these crystals, man. I want to come and give, oh yeah, I said I was going to get some elixirs. Oh, before I get to the elixirs, another thing that I do with the crystals is something that I got from Panic years ago. Man, I get so much from this dude, man. If you don't know about Brother Panic, man, please, you got to check out Brother Panic. Man got jewels for days. So, the eye patch, the sleeping eye patch. So, what you want to do is you want to get a sleeping eye patch, or pretty much anything that's going to cover your eyes, right? Especially when you sleep, especially when you meditation. I don't do any meditations without putting an eye patch on. You know what I mean? next level meditations, because you really blackening out all the light from this reality. You know what I mean? And really focusing on that inner light. So it's really taking you to a next level when you do that. But also, when you deal with a crystal, another one of my favorite crystals is euconite. Man, euconite is a crown chakra stone. When I first got this stone, I didn't really know a lot about it, and I would say I probably had about 20 stones before I even got this. But the first time I meditated with this was using that technique. Was when I used the eye patch. And man, when I tell you this is my top five stones, euconite, especially to meditate with, especially to put on your crown chakra, you know what I mean, with the eye patch. I would say there's, next to amethyst, there's nothing better to meditate with. Get this stone. This is a really, really, really important stone. Euconite. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. It's called euconite. Euconite. But put that thing under the eye patch. Oh man. Also, another technique I got from Panic was using the Tiger Balm. Put the Tiger Balm on your third eye. You know what I mean? It's gonna help. It's gonna bring that menthol in. Now you put the Tiger Balm, and then you get the crystal and put the crystal on top of the Tiger Balm when it starts stimulating, and then put the eye patch on, and then you go into meditation. Oh man, you're talking about sweet shit. For real. You know what I mean? After you being there for about a good hour and a half, 2 hours, you know what I mean? You get somewhere for real. So techniques, try it out, see if you break through. Definitely helped me break through. So elixirs, like I said, the crystals are all elements. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the element, you're trying to get the energy from the crystals, and you're trying to get it in your aura. So when it gets in your aura, it's gonna raise your aura to the attunement from the crystals. So if I got a sunstone, vibrate, they tell you what number it's vibrating at. It's vibrating at a 6. You know what I mean? That's what it's gonna attune me to. You know what I mean? Each stone has its own vibratory number. So you can check. One of the best books to get on crystals is called Love is in the Earth. Another jewel I got from Brother Panic. I mean, go through all the books from Melody. It's called Love is in the Earth, a kaleidoscope of crystals. So this really came in handy when I started doing the elixirs, because there are some stones that you can't digest. So you have to really do your homework on the stones to see if you can digest them and mix them with water. And there are some that you cannot mix with water and you cannot digest because it's all metals, and metals will fuck your ass up. So you have to do your homework. This is why you need the book. You know what I mean? Or you need the book because some of the shit on the internet, you can't trust that shit. So you need to trust somebody's actual research. You know what I mean? So that's a real good book, especially when you're doing the elixirs. So I'm just gonna run through some of the crystals that I use with my chakras. You know what I mean? Some of my favorite stones that and what chakra I like to do my crystal breathing, like to do my meditations with. For the root, one of my favorite stones is rhyodonite. Rhyodonite, it's black and pink. That's a real good stone. Tiger's Eye, and also leopard jasper. For the root, those are my 3 favorites. So that's pretty much what I did. I did like 3 stones for each one of the chakras, and each one that I like to use, and that I really got results with. And so I'm just gonna give you each one of those. So root, rhyodonite, tiger's eye, and leopard jasper. 3 really, really, really good stones. For my sacral, I like to use orange calcite, citrine. My citrine right here. If you don't know about citrine, man, citrine is one of the only stones that you never have to clear. It's one of the best stones to use for clearing negative energy. You know what I mean? It transmutes negative energy like no other because of its chemical makeup. You know what I mean? Look at the chemical makeup of citrine, man. This is a dope ass fucking stone. You never have to clean this shit. Most stones, you have to clean them, you have to recharge them, because they can't reproduce their own energy. They can't do that shit on its own. Citrine can do this shit on its own. This is a dope ass fucking stone. Excuse my language. I fucking love this shit. Snowflake Obsidian is another one of my favorite stones to use for the sacral. Solar Plexus, I like to use. Calcite's really good with that. Sunstone's another really good stone, one of my favorites. Definitely get you some sunstone. Mookaite Jasper is another really good stone for the solar plexus. I've had really, really good experiences with Mookaite Jasper. Anybody trying to get in touch with deceased people, or you trying to talk to the dead, Mookaite Jasper is one of the best stones for that. For some reason, the chemical makeup of Mookaite Jasper is really, really good with communicating with people from the other realms. It's really, really good. Mookaite Jasper, a really good stone. For the heart, Fuchsite. Fuchsite's a really good. Chrysocolla. Man, Chrysocolla is a very, very powerful stone. One of the most powerful heart stones that you can use. Anything dealing with heart energy, Chrysocolla. And also rose quartz. So that's my 3 for the heart. Fuchsite, Chrysocolla, rose quartz. For the throat, blue lace agate, blue argonite, and sodalite. I don't know, wait a minute. Why did I put lapis-lazuli on here? Nah, fuck that. Lapis-lazuli is the #1 stone for the throat. Lapis-lazuli is one of the first stones I ever bought that I wear on me every day. I have stones that I wear. I don't ever go anywhere without stones on me. I don't leave the house. I haven't left the house without wearing stones for since 2012. I have a combination of maybe about 10 that I rotate, just necklaces like this. And then sometimes I just put them in my pocket. I just grab a couple, I just rotate them in and out. I have certain ones that I see attract certain things in certain type of ways that I like, so I would use those combinations and wear them on me, you know what I mean? Sometimes I have them on bracelets. I have a lot of different bracelets that I wear. So I always have them on me, you know what I mean? So yeah, lapis-lazuli, but also blue lace agate is really good, and sodalite is good too. I would say that was my top 3 for throat. Sorry, blue argonite. Third eye, I would say moonstone. I already talked about amethyst, and I mean amethyst is obviously easily one of the most powerful stones out there. And I already talked about euconite. Euconite is dope. Get the euconite. Get the patch. You know what I mean? Do the tiger's balm. Do that meditation, man. That's just gonna be dope. And for the crown, I use healer's gold. Really, really good stone. It's black and gold. We know the significance of anything black. We know the significance of anything gold. That stone has those that chemical element mixed together. Searstone amethyst and searstone quartz. We know about the power of amethyst. We know about the quartz, but these searstone amethyst carries different type of energies, and those are really good for meditating. When you get the searstone, you want to put the clear part. Put the clear part on your third eye. So you get the amethyst or the quartz. That got a rose quartz too. I got a rose quartz. So either one of those, the clear part, the shiny part, you want to put that on your third eye too. Do those meditations. Those are some real good ones. I think that's pretty much it right now. I just want to give y'all that to come talk about crystals, man. I hope y'all feel my sincerity, how I feel about these crystals, man. I'm pumped. When I tell you I love them, man, I love them. When I tell you it's real, it's real. You know what I mean? Take them serious, respect them, show them love, you know what I mean? I always put them out in the sun, man. I charge them at least once a month. Sometimes I take them to the river. Sometimes I bury them, you know what I mean? But I always try to charge them every single month, you know what I mean? Show them love, you know what I mean? I keep them on me, you know what I mean? I meditate with them, you know what I mean? I you know what I mean? I don't want to say I treat them like pets, but yeah, I kind of do, you know what I mean? You get, it's the respect that you give them, you know what I mean? So that's how you interact with them, and that's how they build you, you know what I mean? And it's an exchange. You give, they give, you know what I mean? Everything in the universe is an exchange. So you have to give something up and they give, you know what I mean? So just want to come and talk about that, man. So Chaos, man, be right back with y'all.